because we always go beyond the regions, because different countries we have our competitive advantage. So we need to work together to have to extract more value from our efforts and works. Yeah.
So, from your perspective as an entrepreneur yourself, um, what are the most pressing challenges and exciting opportunities that technopreneurs face today in contributing to sustainable economic growth?
Okay, I think for these questions, I will focus more on the balancing, because we know everything they come with threats. For example, you can say technology is a very good, yeah, bring us a lot of mm, values, a lot of can carry us to a next level, but uh, we need to assess the threats itself, because contributed from the is a for me it's always a side effect. So I think the challenges will be the so-called uh, when it comes to technology, we talk about cybersecurity, you talk about ethical data privacy. So these are things that the we all uh, we are facing, because how when we talk about ethical AI, for example, so we have a responsible AI. We must be not that not biased. We must be kind of like exploit those are data that we have, maintain the data privacy. I think this is an issue that those are regulators they are targeting, and they are trying to come up with their so-called guidelines, AI guidelines to govern it. So this is things that we need to uh, really focus on, because before we move further, we need to solve this kind of fundamental issue. So the first will be the ethical use of technology and also data privacy. Secondly is environmental impact. So nowadays people is combining the so-called technological innovations with environmental sustainability. So um, we call it some e-waste generated by the technology industries, because we must know that for all the, for example, data center, whenever we use a technology, for example, you want to execute one task, I want to book a e-link, for every actions that you create is supported by your coding. Then your coding is supported by your hardware, for example, your data center, your server, and all these things. So how efficient is your coding? It determines how much e-waste, for example, in this case. So we need to promote some efficient energy consumptions to reduce the e-waste. So these are the things that entrepreneur uh, need to be aware of, and they need to start from day one. They need to have this kind of solution in place to tackle this. Uh, then another challenge I think will be a main one is the sustainable itself. So whenever we talk about sustainability, people will link to, oh, okay, so how I sustain the economic growth, sustain the environment. But most of the time, people uh, tend to ignore about their own sustainability. So based on what I observe, the first thing when I look at the startups, for example, entrepreneur, technopreneur, what is your business model? Is your business model is able to sustain yourself? Because this is very important, because we know that the startups they are here to disrupt the traditional businesses. So then what is next? If after it's disrupted the traditional businesses, bricks and mortar, for example, they are gone. Then they themselves, as a so-called innovator, they probably you can observe after 3 5 years, they are because of the business model, they are not able to sustain themselves further, so they are gone as well. So what is the real value add to the society? For me, I would say it's not really, because you start disrupted the incumbent. So the incumbent gone, eliminated, then the staff themselves they are gone in probably after 3 years, 5 years. Then what is next? So these cycles keep repeating. So many new startups produce and disrupted, the incumbents disrupted, and the startup gone. So the sustainability is not there. So
Mm.
that's why I think entrepreneurs themselves they need to focus on their own sustainability. So the my time by when I started in 2018. So probably people follow the valuation game. I want to snowball my valuations. I don't care about profitability. So as long as I can expand fast, I can keep quickly raise my next round. Keep snowball my valuations. Yeah, I want to become a unicorn. So forget about of profitability. I want the valuations. So that time, yes, probably there was a game plan when like during the time of 2017, 18. So we can see a lot of so-called businesses or platform success cases. Yeah, but until today, uh, investors their mind change also. They will based on what they observe. Eh, So nowadays they will questions on the sustainability of a business model. So how fast are you able to be turn profitability, profitable? So what is a plan for that? You can tell me, okay, you can burn a lot of money to expand. Yes. So what's next? When I want to profit, I want to have a fair so-called treatment for all the stakeholders. For example, back to my as a general partners in a VC, back to my LP because I'm accountable for like managing the fund efficiently. So this is most important for me when I talk to those entrepreneurs. So you need to sustain yourself first. Yeah. So of course, all these challenges it will link back to the opportunity. So because for them to sustain themselves, so they need to have the uh, proper plan. So
Mhm.
you can say, oh, today I want to start something, but probably I face some regulatory hurdles. So, but if you want to sustain yourself, you need to work closely, for example, with the regulators. I think a real life example would be, I want to start a blockchain business. So, if you involve some blockchain technology, then you want to involve some cryptocurrency. So then we know there are some regulatory hurdles across different regions. Yeah. So what you need to do, you need to have active engagement because we can observe technology advancement is really fast because it's always outpace the regulatory frameworks. So it is always be the case. So what we need to do is we need to talk, we need to communicate a lot actively with the regulators because regulators they are eager to learn as well. They want to know, they want to catch up with the development to support the technology advancement in the countries. For example, AI also. So we can see some sandbox created for those to cater this kind of technology solutions. For example, for the responsible AI. For example, for the regulatory sandbox for financial services, for your blockchain related business. So these are things that create many opportunities for us to learn each other, the regulator and the businesses. So and also in terms of talent. So like I mentioned just now, the mobility. So we can face a lot of challenges in terms of, like, for example, I want to protect my data privacy. How can I do that? Cybersecurity in our region, we lack of this kind of talents, expertise, cybersecurity expert. So how can we fix that? So again, we know that we can mobilize the talent globally. So these are some um, these are some uh, so-called sustainable solutions that we can establish via collaborations, partnerships. Yeah. So by navigating these challenges, at the same time capitalizing on the opportunities, we need a balance of innovations. We need a balance of social responsibility. So as an entrepreneur, these are things that we need to look at, not just innovations, your social responsibility, and also those are challenges that we discussed just now. Then how to link back to your own sustainability, sustain yourself, sustain economic growth, sustain the society. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned about all about sustainability, how technology is somehow like a fast-paced game because like the regulation and whatever it is, it's moving so fast, and we need to catch up with them. Well, I think this will be related to the last questions. What advice would you give to aspiring entrepreneurs looking to make a positive impact on economic growth while ensuring decent work conditions? Because, well, I don't know if it's true or valid, but in my perspective, I often see that technologies, uh, you know, people that work in technologies, like for example, like IT engineers, I often hear some, gossips maybe that they often overworked or something like this. So I think maybe we think that it is the price we must pay for the speedy economic growth, but somehow it results in maybe a not really decent work conditions. So maybe you can share your opinions or advice for entrepreneurs out there that want to push the economic growth while ensuring the decent work conditions.
Yeah, yeah. I think I understand your just now the scenario that you share because my own experience. Yep, I observe there are some time that most of the time developers like technology developers they have a very long working hours. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, there's always a tight deadline for their projects. Even sometimes when I call talk to my developers, they inform me that they are hospitalized but still do the projects. So I think this this scenario I think need to be how to say uh, improved because it backs to the entrepreneur mindset because most of the time people will think uh, I pay you, so I should be like getting uh, more as a return. For example, I pay you, I want to have a high deadline. I need you to work for probably 36 hours per day, for example. So uh, I see these kind of things as labor exploitations. So um, for startups, for a company to sustain themselves, they need to put this kind of their stakeholders such as their uh, employees, their work partners as a top priority. Because can you imagine you keep exploiting this kind of, for example, your staffs, your workers, your employees, and the turnover is so high, and in fact, the training costs behind probably those they are not aware of is actually very high because when you train the staff to familiar with your processes or basically to have they have developed your technology applications, then after that they resign and you need to hire a new one. Then you need to train the new staff to take over the previous work by the previous staff. And this cycle is getting shorter. For example, for every 6 months, you need to handle resign staff and onboard a new one.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that the recruitment process is not that easy because for us, from my experience, for us to filter, to interview, to select the suitable candidates for the company is not that easy. Yeah, sometimes it come from the experience of trial and error, especially if you work with different people from different regions. So these are the for me it's like some uh, not that cost efficient way for not treating the employees nicely because
Mm-hmm.
of the turnover. Yeah. So although there are working from home, we basically the flexibility is there. But
Mm.
for me, we are talking about effective hours. So sometimes it, it's not like necessarily I must be there facing the webcam, you monitor me, I must work 12 hours per day, more than 12 hours per day. But as long as things can be done, then the professionality is there. Basically, the flexibility should be there, and of course, uh, the treatment it cannot be like up until the exploit level. And another thing is the compensations. Of course, most of the time, probably we might hurt some blank check from some entrepreneurs because we understand startup like at the early stage, the financial constraint, cost constraint, so they might not be able to pay more or pay decently like compared to other more established corporate and all this. But if let's say today the entrepreneur they promise something, they promise like okay, so like you will allocate some shares, share vesting and all these things must all these promises should be fulfilled and it shouldn't be used as just like some sugar coated yeah so that to convince you to work more after that I can just ignore my promises all these things. So I think transparency is very important. So yeah, for all the to treat all the stakeholders, especially the employees. Yeah,
Yeah, thank you very much. It gave us a lot of new insights. Well, especially I personally don't really have so many chances to talk to well, you can call yourself a technopreneurs, entrepreneurs in technology industries, right? So it it opened my eyes about how technologies can really involve in growing the economic, and that it can be useful for people in so many fields using technology to improve themselves. Thank you so
mm,
much for your thoughts and your time today.
problem, no problem. I think because I nowadays I like to share my experience
Mhm.
with other entrepreneurs because uh, I started 3 years ago, so have the privilege to witness the whole development from a very early stage.
Mhm.
Like in terms of, for example, I started from the time where it's still very early stage, and also blockchain as well because I started blockchain research in 2017. So up until today, we are still uh, people are still trying to venture into that, and regulators we can see some development from the regulatory landscape. So I think it'll be my privilege to share my experience to many people so that they can they can sometimes I like to share my mistakes as well so that they can learn from that and stop wasting some time to try and error and all these things. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, once again, thank you, and well, good luck on whatever project you are doing right now or your business.
Thanks, Vasista.
Yeah, thank
Thanks for the
you.
time as well.